Welcome, tea timers, to another installment of Tea Time with Sally. So grab your cups and your tea. Mine looks a bit pale. I have almond milk. I'm trying to go dairy, sugar and grain free again after a weekend of being naughty. So the other week I showed you this picture and then I told you to go away and play with some pen and ink pens. So I don't know if you got a ultra fine point Sharpie or not, but I just want to show you this one's really yucky. Don't throw away your yucky ones because you can get some interesting lines with those. Oh, this is the yucky one. Oops. Okay, so that is hatching and that is cross hatching. So before, I know the screen was a bit reflective. So this is the side of say it's a tree, and you would just keep going back and forth. That's what I did on the picture that I showed you. Now, the picture I showed you would be a little difficult for you to start with, and also I don't want you to go buying tons of materials. I will be talking more about watercolor, but I want you to practice with things around the house, or if you do come across, if you're in a craft store or something, Sharpies are quite common. If you're in Staples or something like that, you can quickly just buzz in and get one of these. They're really, really cheap. Or you can just use any pen or little cheap marker that you have. But the way I would start is to just do a curved branch just coming out of the side of a little scrap of paper. What I did to get this size paper was I folded up a piece of computer paper in half and half again, and then halved it from the side. And I got all these little squares. So if you have a paper cutter, you could cut it up quite quickly, or you can just use a pair of scissors. And then you've got this small little piece of white paper that's much less difficult for you to wrap your head around drawing on. Even professional artists do not like the look of a white piece of paper. It's difficult to get started. So what I would do is just draw a little branch that goes one way and then down the other way, like that. And then you've got something to get your leaf shapes around. Now I've got some of my Prismacolor markers. That's what I always use. And I picked all the ones that had fall leaf-like colors to demonstrate the way I did the watercolor. I did it in the same way, but I did it in a brush with different layers of watercolor. So this is a little scribbly thing I whizzed up this morning, and I'm going to show you how I did these leaves, and it was just little shapes like this. And that's what I did with the watercolor brush too. So you can switch out your colors like this, and you can overlap them and layer them, and you can end up with little rectangles like this. So this is a very, very simple shape. You can make up your own shapes. You could do a whole tree, but I would recommend that you just start with a branch and then just practice some of your cross hatching around the edge to just shade some of the branch to give it more of a three-dimensional effect. Or you can just, even on these bits, just do some like little random squiggly lines. So you could go black and white and just start with just random little squiggles like that, and then you can just dot in some color. So if you've got some markers lying around, try not to do like big fat blocks of color, because that will make it look really heavy. So there you go. You can have some fun with that, and that's your little tea time tip this morning. Have fun creating some lovely little pictures, and you could actually stick these on cardstock and send them out to people. I don't know if you've got friends who aren't very well or somebody you haven't talked to for a while. Why don't you send them a nice little card this week instead of a text or a message on social media? It is absolutely fabulous to go to your mailbox and see something that somebody sent to you and a picture that they actually created themselves. So have some fun with that. You can see the dots have gone through on that one, but play around with that. And that's what I want you to focus on, is going back to playing again. And if your kids are doing it, they're already playing and having fun. So have a great week.